Independence is a really interesting word in that it's broadly used and it means a lot of different things for different people. Within PwC, what we're really focusing on is that to be an auditor of clients, you need to be independent of those clients. That sounds fairly simple, but there's a fairly broad range of regulations and principles that our people need to know. My role is I'm the director responsible for independence, and as part of that I need to make sure that our people are being trained on what they need to understand, how they need to think about things, how they need to behave, and a little bit of what they can and can't do. Independence is really important to PwC. It's important in lots of different ways. It's important to our brand, it's important to our reputation, and it's important to our clients to make sure that we're actually able to continue being their auditors and providing them with the services that we need. I may be biased. I'm the director responsible for independence, but I think it's right at the heart of everything that PwC does. PwC's approach to compliance is probably varied. We take it very seriously. We have a very structured programme. We track what our people do, we monitor, and there are disciplinary implications if they don't do their side of the bargain. Having said that, we also recognise that people are busy. They have demands on their time based from their clients. So we try and make it as easy as we can. We try and make it engaging. We try and make it memorable. And we try and make it as simple for them so that they do understand what it is that they need to comply with. Getting the balance right between compliance and competency is quite tricky. In one sense, compliance is a minimum. We expect all of our people to know the regulations. It's important to our brand that they don't break any of those regulations. So compliance is the minimum level. That's expected. If we can get them with a little bit of competency so that they know personally what it means for them, so that they can actually explain it to their clients, because sometimes it impacts them as well, then that's a perfect world. For PwC, e-learning and e-learning technologies are really important to enable us to meet our requirements. We've got in the UK 16,500 people. We've got 35 offices. So the only way that we can get consistent training out to those people is through the use of e-learning. When we think globally, that gets even broader. And we do try and leverage anything that we do in the UK so that we can use it around the globe for everybody's benefit.
The business need for the independence course was that we have a regulatory obligation. We have to ensure our partners and staff are trained in this subject area. But also we wanted to help our partners and staff understand this subject matter more easily so that they can become remain independent and comply with the regulations. On top of this, it was also tailored to the individual by an upfront diagnostic tool, so they only got the content and the assessment that was relevant to them at their grade and role. We had many solutions to try and help this business need, but one key one was an e-learning course. It was structured in the style of a YouTube design, had lots of videos, fact files, people sharing their experiences, drama to make it more fun and engaging, but also trying to give it a practical aspect. So we're giving them tools and techniques to try and help them in their day-to-day life. Video played a huge part in this course. We had drama clips to really bring to life one or two key messages. This was particularly helpful for the support staff grades who don't necessarily come into contact with independence that often. And we also had more experienced people talking about independence, sharing their experiences, say what they had difficulty with, how they helped and who they contacted, all of which really brought the whole subject to life. We worked very much in collaboration with the provider so that they understood the content, to help them to bring the course together into an engaging experience for the learner. I also believe the fact that the user could also have free rein on how to complete the course, meaning that they weren't forced down a designated route. They could complete it as and when they wanted to, meant that they could complete it in their own time, modules at a time, all of which were huge benefits for that course and its success. I think the key to the project's success is that we worked very collaboratively with the provider to really help them understand the subject matter. They helped us to focus on what the key messages were of the course, which really helped hone the content around those specific learning objectives. The impact of the project on the business is Internally, we achieved a higher benchmark, so that was excellent stuff. We also could prove to our regulator that all the partners and staff had completed and passed the assessment. From a business perspective, we had a reduction in independence breaches, and our staff were completing the authorisation for services form at a much better quality than they had done in the past. From a learner's perspective, they really enjoyed the course, having the flexibility to complete it in their own time, listening to their colleagues sharing experiences. And from our feedback form, it showed that the learners were well equipped with the knowledge for their role and that they could implement it pretty much straight away after completing the course.